Why? Why are you livid?
It should have been done in the first round. It should have. There should have never been a second. There should have never been a third. There should have been Ian Garry takes his back and subs him unconscious. That's what it should have been. So I've already lost sleep over that, and I just have this burning sensation in my brain that is just. I know what it is. It's the competitor in me. It's the perfectionist in me that goes, that was where the fight should have been done and dusted. There shouldn't have been any more time. And now I'm going to push myself to be better and grow and evolve and learn. And I can win and learn, and I can be frustrated even with a win. Happy with the performance? Yes. Am I happy with the way I performed and the game plan that I set out and stuck to? Yes. But I'm in moments like that, when I've gotten to the position that I know I'm so good in, and I made minimalistic mistakes or errors that I can learn upon and grow upon. For me, that's the most important thing, is to go in there and get that finish. And sure, I won, I got my hand raised, I remain undefeated and all that's great, but I would have loved to have done it with the finish, and that was what I kept seeing, and that's what I expect from myself. There is no one else on this world that is going to be harder on me than me, and I should have finished that fight. So happy, but also frustrated.
Before they read the scorecards, what did you think the score was?
29-28, unanimous decision. I think it was pretty obvious I won the first and the third. The second round I gave to him purely especially after watching it back. I gave to him just purely from the last minute. I think up until the last minute, you were giving me the round, but he landed, I think it was 3 good shots towards the end of the round, and there was no real damage from either of us in that round. So for me, I was confident I was getting my hand raised at the end of the fight. I knew I'd won the fight. Me and MVP both knew I won the fight. He was clapping before my hand had been raised because he knew. He knew that the two of us together, we both know. We both know who won the dance. We both know who led the dance. And I was in control and I was in charge. And it was pretty obvious to both of us that I won. 29-28 was the right score in my mind.
Now they're calling you a wrestler. Oh, you're the Irish Khabib, and I see all this stuff. Do you see that stuff too? And are you baffled? And I chalk it up to maybe like people just not knowing how tough it is to do that to MVP, and maybe because he's new to the UFC, not understanding that like he's only lost twice before and all that stuff. I was a little bit confused by it. Have you seen any of this, and how do you feel about this criticism?
I think, Ariel, I'm at the point in my life where I don't look at criticism. I don't look at what people's opinions are. I sat here Saturday night after the fight. I ordered pizzas. I sat down with Damian Maia. I sat down with all of my team, Diego, everyone. We watched the fight back and we all spoke about it. But it's little moments like straight after the fight, I went backstage, finished my medical, and I see Gilbert Burns and he's talking to Maya, and I come up and I give him a massive big hug and I'm like, dude, I'm pissed. And he was like to me, I knew you were going to grapple. He's like, I knew you were going to do it this fight. I'm like, dude, I'm so annoyed that I didn't get that finish. And then I'm talking to Gilbert Burns and Damian Maia about little adjustments that if I find myself in that position again of how to maybe finish the fight in that position, I then go back to my dressing room and I see Charles Oliveira and he's like, who cares? You won the fight. It doesn't matter. You won the fight. You got your hand raised. You're 15-0. Who cares? So what if you didn't get the finish? And it's that energy. It's those people that matter. It's those people that matter, not people online. Criticism online isn't something that I have time for. My family is here. I'm sat down and me and Damien are going through like technical breakdowns of the takedown that I had in the third round. And he's like, look how perfect that is. I put my head in his ribs. I turned the corner, took his back and just dominated. It was clinical and it was clean. And from someone who we've not seen grappling from, people are disappointed because they expected this striking war, but it's not kickboxing, it's MMA. I'm an MMA fighter and I want to be one of the best to ever do it. So I found that this was going to be a time where I could absolutely utilize my jiu-jitsu to go out there and have fun, to prove to myself how good I am at it. And I went out and I enjoyed it. Not satisfied because I didn't get the finish, and it's still gonna hurt me. I'm gonna repeat it because it matters. But I'm satisfied with getting my hand raised. So any criticism in the world means nothing to me unless you're someone that sweats with me on the mat, that is able to talk to me, knowing everything that I've been working on. Criticism isn't something that I have time for.
I love the Shavkat call out afterwards. I love that idea, whatever you want to call it, call out idea. I love it.
Look, I love it. I've trained with Shavkat. I've nothing but respect for Shavkat and everything that he's done. I mean, for someone to be 18-0 and have 18 finishes, it's pretty remarkable. What I don't want is for him to fight anyone else and lose that O. I want to be the guy that if someone's going to take it, let it be me. That's the challenge that I see. And when I look at Shavkat, he's by far the most dangerous guy in the entire division at the moment, other than obviously respect to the champion. But he's the most feared at the moment. 18-0, 18 finishes. We've not seen anyone really cause much trouble. Jeff Neal and him had a great fight back in December or beforehand. But anyway, the point is, that's the opponent I want to look towards. That's the excitement I'm ready for, is fights like him, that build-up, that skill set. Where is he going to try beat me? Is he going to try beat me on the feet, or is he going to try out-grapple me? If so, I need to get better in both areas because I want to be able to beat him at both areas. They're the fights that excite me, and beating someone like Shavkat and taking his O, it excites me, Harry. It gets me hyped.
When you mentioned this afterwards, he was on Twitter saying you must not have remembered your training sessions. Have you seen these comments from him?
I did see one, and I don't know what he's talking about. There was one I remember. We were tippy tapping. We had a fight on the same night. It was when he fought Jeff Neal, and it was I fought Keenan Song. And Henry Hooft came over to me and goes, I understand you two are both competitors. I understand you both have a fight. He was like, both you're on the same team, go fucking light. He was like, I want you to just touch each other, keep active, give each other good looks, and make each other think. And we're sat there and we're playing around and we're moving each other. We were being good training partners. And I threw a right body kick at him. And he caught it. And he stepped back and he looked at me and he went, boom, to the fucking rib. I was like, you dirty little cunt. And I was like, you fucker. You just took the wind out my rib. I was like, all right, come on. And he was like, stop it. Don't be fucking around, you two. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to get you back. I'm going to get you back. It was playful. It was fun. But that's it. Like, that's it. When it comes to striking, I'm faster than him. I'm more technical than him. I'm more talented than him. Is he amazing? Is he fearless? Absolutely. But I know for a fact that this fight's on the feet, I'm the one with the advantage. When it comes to grappling, he absolutely had the grappling advantage over me when we trained. He was a far superior grappler. I say was. I've been doing a majority of work in Brazil focusing on becoming a far superior grappler. So the fight, to me, it's exciting. It's interesting. I know where he's good. He knows where I'm good. Let's go out there and have some fun and put on a show for the fans. And it's not often you see undefeated at this high of a level in the division. And the only way I see it being better is if he's the world champion and I can take his O when he's got the belt.
Is that a number one contender fight in your opinion?
I think it has to be. I would love 2 more fights before I fight for the belt, but if the opportunity to fight Shavkat is there, if the opportunity to go out there and take that O, finish him, dominate him, get my hand raised in any way, shape or form, I think it has to be a number one contender spot then. I think it has to be the winner of that fight goes and fights for the belt next.
What interests you more, that or Colby?
I'm done with Colby. I'm done with him. He's in the rearview mirror. I think he's running scared and he's toxic, and I would much rather focus on someone like a Shavkat, someone who's going to show up and bring so much to the table. That's how I feel.
Okay, he commented on your fight as well. Did you see any of his comments, Colby's comments?
No. What did he say?
He said he wasn't impressed, and
says the guy who's like 0-3 in his last 3 fights. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Come on.
So you're moving on.
Yeah, absolutely. He's behind me. He had his opportunity. He fucked up.